Welcome to SCV Chat. I'm your co-host for the evening, Moose, joined by the Florida Man. And before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast, not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, it's GEC, nor your divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? How you doing, Florida Man?
Not bad, not bad. My phone's dinging because I'm my division commander right now, so that's nothing new.
He times it perfectly.
I know.
And I'm just gonna mess with Calvin. Calvin, please don't take it out on me. You and Carl continue your feud. But normally he texts us right before, not before the show goes live, but right as it, and it's always funny because I can always hear the phone going off. But we're going to kind of have a relaxed episode tonight. I was going to maybe bring on a guest and talk about it, but I kind of got caught up with work today, so really didn't promote it. So we're just going to have a more relaxed episode tonight. So we're going to do some trivia. I'm going to throw some curveballs at y'all tonight. We will be also not just doing War Between the States trivia, but America's first Revolutionary War and George Washington trivia in honor of G-Dub's first birthday. His birthday is tomorrow. And of course, today it was President's Day. So I'm just going to throw a little curveballs at you and see if y'all can keep up. We have the Kentucky Division Commander, Kyle Thompson, on tonight. John on tonight. Good to see you. Victor on tonight. It's okay to see you. Had to give Victor a bit of crap. Jason.
Yeah, Victor right now is freezing his butt off right now.
He's in Massachusetts. Let's all pray for our brother. Carl's on Faversham. The most sharp-dressed man in the SCV, past Commander-in-Chief Paul Graham Jr. in the chat. 5th Brigade Aide-de-Camp Jack DuPont in the chat. Camp Commander of the Sam Davis Camp, 596. Gerald in the chat. Good to see you. Our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy in the chat. And let's see here. Who else?
Mr. Nelson, just want to say thank you for getting me in touch with your adjutant. Thank you.
And Mr. John is on tonight. Victor says he's in 27-degree weather right now, watching his favorite show. Well, thank you.
Hey, Keith. Hey, David.
What'd you say?
I was saying hi to Keith and David Pope.
Carl says he's going to have to work the Florida Man into the SCV chat theme song. I couldn't agree more.
Just make sure you had Get Her Done.
It might be the most redneck thing that's going to come on tonight, but I highly doubt it.
Nope.
Get Her Done. I used to say that all the time in high school. Oh, that brings back a flashback. That and quoting, I think, Kevin Hart, which I think got me in trouble a time or two.
No, what got me in trouble was more of the Jeff Foxworthy stuff.
Jeff Foxworthy got me a lot in trouble. I'm about to throw in some trivia for some people. Middle school, it was D-Generation X. And if you can figure out why I got in trouble, don't say it in the chat. We're just going to let it be a little nod between me and you at a very immature Moose at the time. I had not.
I can see why with that group.
Well, we all back when I was a kid, and I mean that was 20 years ago at the time, maybe 15. And I'm being graceful, but we all found that clips online. We all thought we were D-Generation X. We also thought we were Confederate Security was what we called our group in middle school. And this is before none of us really got involved. I mean, I was an SCV member. I think one guy was trying to join the SCV, and I think the other guy was thinking about it, and I don't think we ever did it or did anything in the SCV together, but we thought that was a Confederate Security. Yeah, that was what we called our group in middle school. And that just goes to show you, everybody knew that was the group name at the time. No one batted an eye. There were people that were
that's what I'm saying, David.
in my defense, I got saved in high school, so let's just put that out there. You know, I wasn't probably the best Christian standard before that point. I went to church, but I don't think it soaked in the brain until high school. Yes, I was a big D-Generation X fan in middle school, and Steve Austin.
Well, let me put
That
this
also
out
got me.
there. It's from Mr. Kennedy.
Okay.
I just seen it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let us know, Mr. Ron, and we will put that on. Or share that out. Well, however y'all want to do it, just let me know. Let's see here. Here's your sign. Yeah, no, that one got thrown around a lot in high school. High school, we kind of degenerationized a bit and really became more rednecks. Uh, David's making fun. Ah, yes, heaven. Good idea. It was more of realizing that I was a Christian by just saying I was, not by actions. I guess I'll put it like that. And I mean, no one can force you to get saved. They can put you in that environment, and that's kind of what happened to me. Is I kept getting put in that environment, and it slowly started making me think. And that's just how I got saved. It's probably going on close to 10 years now, and that is just mind boggling.
Hmm.
Wow. And there goes my computer for a second. But we're just going to kill a bit more time and talk to everybody for a minute. We do have a couple of trivia questions for tonight, which is, again, laid back episode. Please share this out. Let's see here. Do we have any comments? Oh, yeah. Now we're talking about wrestling in the chat.
Oh yeah, Kyle, I agree with you.
Yeah, well, for some reason, even though, those were popular in the late 90s, like before the majority of my friend group was born. I was born in 99. You know,
Wow.
it's just something we loved. I can't explain. I guess it was because before the ages of internet and being able to watch things online, you had to buy DVDs. And so we bought DVDs from the 90s wrestling era, and that's how that happened. And we actually have talked about doing a pro wrestling episode of SCV Chat, uh, simply because there's a lot of Southern symbols actually in pro wrestling that would shock most people.
Oh yeah.
Even as early as 2010, I do believe there were still a lot of signs of that in pro wrestling,
Hmm.
Southern heritage. It's I love um pro wrestling. I enjoy. Oh,
You got him, Mr. Kennedy.
you got me. Uh, I just turned 25 a couple weeks ago,
Wow, I'm
and
double your age.
mhm, I'm 25, and it hurts me because my whole friend group now thinks I'm old, but everybody over 25 says I'm still young. And I'll admit, when you're under 25, you think 25 is old. You really do. And then you turn 25, and all of a sudden, 25 is not old anymore. I've caught myself telling people 25 is not old. And there's a video of me, I think 2 years ago when I was 23, telling everybody that 25 is old as dirt. My friend played that on my birthday. He sent that to me. I was like, that's very kind of you. Thank you for this. I'm so glad someone uh, has brought that into my equation. Um, James says he's bought an automobile older than me and considers it new. David says his Dodge is my age. Gerald says that he bought a was that a Bronco? No, I'm misreading that. Am I?
Brogan.
Brogan. I don't know where I got Bronco from.
Whoa.
It's been a day. He got that in 1995. That is a 29-year-old pair of Brogans right there. The Fabulous Freebirds and Dusty Rhodes. Yep. Yeah, I enjoyed old school wrestling too. When I started hitting, when I got into college, I watched a lot of it because we didn't have cable. It was like, nah, no one's affording that here in the dorms. So the wrestling network was a popular thing at the time. You can go back and watch old stuff, and that's what we did. From the child hippie era, don't trust anyone over 30. In my era, it's 25. 25 for some reason right now for Gen Z people is old, and it hurts my soul because I truly bought into it until I turned 25, and I'm like, oh, I'm not old. I'm not old. And then one of my friends, for those who don't know, I have some blonde hair in my beard. And my friends like to joke it's white hair, and it hurts my soul every time. It doesn't get better. And I'm telling everybody,
It's pick up moose night.
it's become. Let's talk about Moose's age.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, Paul. Me too.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. The thing about Commander Paul is the fact is I can still see him wearing it because his suits are just that good. I think I told Paul this that I want to find suits like his as I get older and just start wearing them. And then one day I want us to randomly match and not tell anybody. Just walk in to a national reunion matching. That is one of my goals in life, just to see everybody's reaction. I would love to try to find a way to do it this year because I will be on stage with Commander Boshears as his aide de camp, and so I just want Commander Gremlin to stand up, and I'm going to relearn sign language just for this, and I can get behind him in a matching suit and just being. Oh, I can't remember much more than window now, but I used to know sign language. Um, That may have to be a planned event. Yo, yes, sir. I'm not talking about us not planning. I'm telling like everybody else we don't tell. Cause like, I care a lot about my ties, for example. I get a custom made tie for my division reunion and national reunion, which my national one this year is going to be a doozy. Let me tell everybody. It
What,
is
you gonna put a T-Rex on it?
something similar to that effect. You forget I made one for and for if I'm close to someone like a going out commander in chief, I've given Larry my tie, and I will say I will give Jason my tie as he goes out of office this year. And he's going to get the short end of the stick because uh, you know Larry's tie was a custom made Beauregard tie. I didn't put any inside jokes on it. That's not going to be the case for Jason. I have so many inside jokes with him that is going to be on that guy, and it's going to be fantastic. Let's see. Someone said the first Monday Night Raw was in 1997. I was 13. I wasn't even a sparkle in my father's eye in 97.
Hell, I was 18.
I was about what
First year out of high school.
2 years out from birth. And let's see here. David says he was already a veteran and working in security by the time Raw happened. Let's see here. So someone said something about my age again, and it was pretty funny. Oh yeah, be thankful you don't have real white hair in your beard and on your head. I'm very thankful because I told a couple people I would dye it until I got like a big position in the SCV, and I would let y'all see my hair grow gray, and I would tell everybody it's the SCV's fault for causing me so much stress. I might see if I
Hey, what's wrong with having a white beard?
Nothing, nothing. I just don't want any yet. But yeah, my facial hair is weird because it's black and my hair is brown. But I used to have blonde hair and it just darkened as I got older. But yeah, some of my facial hair is blonde, and so some of my friends bring up the fact that it looks like white hair, and it hurts my soul, I think, every single time. Paul says, "Whatever color suit you want to wear, let me know. I can probably match it. Tell me what colors you have, and I
Oh
will
boy.
try my best to get a matching set. I can't guarantee it because this is going to be a project I would pay by myself, so I could surprise even my father. Uh, I would love to see him see me as I exit the hotel room. It's going to be comedy gold. But I yeah, I
That does not surprise me.
surprised me at all. Uh, yeah, Carl has a point. Georgia Championship Wrestling was pretty good itself. I enjoyed it. Again, I went back and watched a lot of old school wrestling, especially when current wrestling products get bad. I go back and watch it because I get bored. And I mean, I used to watch it every Monday and Friday before we started doing the chat. Um, now I might catch a rerun.
Carl.
Get one of them blue and white seersucker suits. I actually had one for a while. Actually, I think I had the opposite. It was like blue, dark blue and white. Let's see here. Paul says he has every color. I all right. I got to think of what color I could match. I'm gonna have to call Eric Pavetti, our national membership coordinator,
He
because
is styling.
he does style, but he also gets these suits very affordable from what he told me. So I'm gonna have to call Eric.
He is definitely flamboyant.
Carl, his favorite color is clear. Don't wear that color. I wouldn't dare do that to this organization. I feel like I would get kicked out so quickly, not just because it's clear, but just because of just. The thought popped in my head. One of my friends sent me that a couple years ago. It was like a clear suit that you're supposed to wear over your suit when it rains, and that popped back in my mind. I could probably find that link. Don't worry, Moose. Your hair will again get lighter as you get older. It will. It will. A lot of people tell me with how much I do, it might happen sooner than later, but it'd be okay as long as I don't lose my hair. That's my main concern in life. Really, is losing my hair. My grandfather has a good set of hair on him. My on both sides, my grandfathers had a good set of hair on them, and a couple of my ancestors have a good set of hair on them. The only person that doesn't have hair is my father, so I'm hoping I don't go that route. Let's see here. I've been to a couple wrestling matches. I have a oh, that would be nice. Paul says I wouldn't get kicked out. You wouldn't make it through the door to begin with. Could you imagine seeing that coming towards you, just a member? I'm not even going to throw me in there for the sake of saving you all that trauma. Oh, this is a weird topic. I want to thank Carl Jones for this topic that we have somehow got on now. Our chief of heritage operations has now been dragged into this. Bless his heart. Stop, Moose. That's an image I can't remove from my brain. Stay away from Clear. it would be this shade too.
Well, the thing about it is, remember the old story about the king's new suit?
Oh, this has gone off the rails in max effort.
Between clear suits and wrestling. I don't know which one.
Someone said baldness is related through the mother. I should be good. Yeah, I love how we've gotten talking on baldness tonight. Fun fact: one of my friends noticed that from high school to now, my hairline has moved back a bit, and now every time I see him, he likes to bring that up. And it hurts my soul because I didn't realize until just looking in the mirror the other day.
Well,
Uh,
I do got a question for you, Moose. What's
you
the deal?
brought it up. You brought it up, Carl. It is 100% your fault. We're throwing the blame on you. We're throwing you under the bus. Carl also basically said hi to me Saturday and ran, and it really hurt my feelings.
You got to fly by Carl and did.
I had a flyby Carl. He legit came and said hi to me and like ran. He didn't want to talk to me, and it really hurt my feelings. And now he's doing this to me in the chat. I don't know if Carl likes me anymore. I don't know what he did. Maybe I did. Maybe I can give him some spam and he can forgive me.
Well, if nobody's going to point this out, I am. What's the deal with Santa behind you?
I brought that in for the December episodes of chat, and I just don't feel like carrying it back up to the attic.
I'm surprised it hasn't moved in closer.
I'm gonna keep him back there until December. When December rolls around again, I'll bring him forward.
At least that's better than a family member's bed.
It's like right next to me. It's got my lunch on it that I ate, and like a bunch of water bottles. I drink a lot of water. Yeah, I am happy. My hair is still growing. My hairline used to come like down here though. It used to be all in my face. Now it's not. And these are just weird topics we're getting on tonight. And it's all Carl's fault. I am throwing the blame on Army of Tennessee Councilman Carl Jones.
Well, I would say Cousin Vinny, but I haven't seen him on for a while.
Oh, he's actually, I think, like doing like he's getting a PhD.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why Cousin Vinny hasn't been on for a while. Jude told me that. Carl was. I was just picking with you, Carl. I know y'all had a long drive back to Alabama. You were in Southern Mississippi. No need to explain it to me. I've been in your shoes. Not that bad, but I've been in your shoes. Good to see you, Mr. Mark. Yeah, Carl says, man, I was feeling like poop Saturday. Almost didn't even go. When it was over, I was ready to go. I almost had zero. I was on zero energy. I could tell that you were tired in the meeting, but I did. I told Jimmy this. I was like, I got so much information from that meeting. I'm glad y'all came down there, and I'm going to probably pick your brain about it again at some point because some parts I couldn't hear you well. We got double booked, and it's not the ladies' fault that was in there enjoying a ladies' tea. They wanted to have a good time. We just both were in the same room, but I couldn't hear you for some stuff. And so I might pick your brain on some things. But Carl and Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill came down this weekend, and I learned so much. And something I'm definitely stealing from Jimmy is a binder that I might even bring on the show because I think it needs to be a standard practice for officers in the SCV. It is a phenomenal plan. And not only does it help with keeping track of everything and handouts that have important information on it. It was a great discovery that I think every officer should have so they can pass it down. But let's see here. Mark Stone's in the chat. Mark is from the Mississippi Division.
Hey,
Good to
Mark.
see you, brother. He's also one of our top monument cleaners. Him and a group of his friends do a phenomenal job. I've had the blessing of going out with them a couple times. I enjoy monument cleaning, so I want to thank Mark for that and all his work to clean monuments in Mississippi. Yep, CERT program. They do phenomenal work. Let's see here. Vinny might show up. He might be late, or I mean, he might be tired.
Or he could be, or he's looking for Thomas Franklin.
I mean, Thomas hasn't been heard from in a while. His Facebook's went dark. I'm kind of concerned about Thomas. Carl said he was physically unable to talk with his normal volume. Oh yeah, no, I could tell, but it did make me laugh that when Carl started talking, the women quieted down for a bit. Late but here. Hello, Southern Patriots. David, good to see you. Or Dave, good to see you. Is that you? That's not cool, Dave. Why you have to be like that? I'm joking. I'm picking with Dave. No one please attack Dave. We've had that happen. But we're at 26 minutes, so I guess I should start asking y'all trivia questions before tonight
Well,
goes off the rails.
I got a good question,
Okay, go ahead.
and I want to see how many people out of the Florida division can answer this one. When was the first Seminole War? Granted, in Florida, we had 3 Seminole Wars. One before the War of Northern Aggression, and one after that.
That's a question I think only a Florida person would know. One second, let me.
Well, we got some historians in the chat. They may know the answer.
Tonight went off the rails before we even started.
Come on, Keith. I know you know the answer. But what year was it?
Jack asked a question for clarification. The one between the mayor of a town and the U.S. government?
No, it's the oldest conflict combined of having Seminoles provide. I should have read this before. What they have here is not correct. But it was in the first one was the year of 1817 to 1818. Wow.
Let's see here.
And it was caused by the U.S. Army attacking the tribe in the First Seminole War, which took place in Florida and South Georgia.
Wow. Wow, this first George Washington trivia question is a hard one. You did it? I don't think anybody answered yours.
No, Keith from 1209 tried to answer it.
Thank you. Mr. Ron gave the answer for the second Seminole War.
Yes, he did.
Good job. Mr. Kennedy, do you want to go ahead and go on to the George Washington ones?
Go for it.
All right, this first question's a hard one, folks. Where was George Washington born? If y'all don't know the answer to this, I'm asking everybody to turn in their Southern card. Where was George Washington born? Jack, remove the question mark from that. Jack, me and you going to have to do some history lessons on the road. Oh, I love people giving exact answers with the city. Mm-hmm. I agree. Give the city. Let's see here. I don't see anybody who's gotten the name. Oh, and here it is. Army of Northern Virginia Councilman Kenny Ramsey with the correct area. So Westmoreland County, Virginia. For people who answer Virginia, you are also correct. Jack was the first one to answer it correctly. Moving on. Winchester. I'm getting this from Mount Vernon. Hopefully they don't have it wrong. I think it was the county though, not the city. We'll actually save that question, Keith. That's a good one. If you have some trivia questions you want to throw in there, go ahead and throw them in there. Don't answer them though. Keep the question, and we'll tell you when to shoot out the answer. So, next trivia question, another hard one. When was George Washington born? This one's actually, I think, it could be two answers, I believe. So I'm interested to see what people say, though.
Oh, I got a good question.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm getting a couple answers now. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to mess with Jack about that. We've gotten some years and we've gotten some date. See, David, that's what I was saying. David brings out a good point. Is it on the modern calendar we use or the old calendar? I'm going to say modern because a lot of people have already put that in there. But I was actually wanting to see who was going to do modern and who was going to do the old one because that's something that I love about George Washington. And yeah, so it was February 22nd, 1737. All right, now we're actually getting to some good ones. And we're going to do a couple George Washington questions and kind of move on. I want to ask people, like Mr. Sean has a trivia question. Come up with some trivia questions in the chat. I'll save them, and then we're going to go through those because I think that could be very interesting. We never done that before. After his father's death, who raised George Washington? I'm surprised I know this answer. I didn't have to cheat with this one. I haven't had to cheat yet, but this one was a hard one that I thought I wouldn't know. So let's see who raised George Washington after his father's death. Commander in Chief Jason Boshears. Depends on the calendar. First year and 1Q days are different. I agree. And that's why I asked that question. I love that question because it could be technically two answers. So I wanted to see if anybody was going to do it. I don't think anybody did. Yeah, a difference of 1 year and 11 days. Let's see here. Okay, I got your trivia question, David. We're going to ask Sean's first after we get through these, but let's see here. And correct if you said his brother Lawrence Washington. I see Carl Horace on YouTube. John. All right, let's go to the next trivia question.
Mine or yours?
Well, we're going to save yours for the special part. We're going to take a break in a bit, and we're going to kind of switch gears.
Define special.
Us. Look in the mirror. Us. I like this one because I think we're going to confuse some people with it. Where did George Washington attend college? And this might not trick people like I think. Where did George Washington attend college? At least, Mr. Sean, when, I'm on the other end of these questions, Connor will force me to try to answer them. And half the time, they're the most obscure fact in history. I'm sitting there like, I don't know. Okay, I thought I was going to get a couple people with this. I did not. George Washington didn't attend college. He is mostly self-educated. I think he dropped out in the equivalent of like first or second grade. He didn't attend school long before his father passed and he had to start working. All right. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good one. George Washington left the United States once in his lifetime. Where did he go?
England?
I don't know. George Washington left the United States only once in his lifetime. Where did he go? Keith said he was too busy chopping down cherry trees, which is actually a myth. He did not. We're having some great answers in the chat. And to be honest, if I didn't study George Washington for a paper, I became a big Washington admirer in college, and I wrote like 2-3 papers on him, and hence why I'm able to know the answer to most of these. And I'll even tell you a bit. Louisiana Territory. That's a good one, Jason. All right. Let's see. So I thought I was right. I was wrong. Kenny Ramsey was right on this one. So I said on the quiz, England. And that got me. Barbados.
Barbados.
It's close enough. But I do know this. On the trip back, George Washington's older brother, who was like his father figure, died from a mysterious illness that also affected George Washington. George Washington survived, but it might have cost him any future children. That is the theory on why George Washington wasn't able to have kids, is because of this disease. So that's actually another fun fact for you. This is a good one. George Washington first saw combat at what battle in the French and Indian War? George Washington first saw combat at what battle in the French and Indian War? I think it was Yellow Fever, Commander Boshears. I'm uncertain. I can't remember that off the top of my head. But I do know that his brother passed on the way back. And it like really affected George. And then he caught it. And then that's what the historical hypothesis of that disease cost him any chance of future diseases or of any future kids. That's the reasoning, is because they think this disease cost him that. But yeah, he caught it on the way back, nearly died. And when he got back, he had to run Mount Vernon, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so Lawrence had tuberculosis. And if I'm not mistaken, George caught it. And that's what got him. Or it could have been another fever, another disease like yellow fever. I could have been wrong, but I could have swore that's what happened. Yeah, David makes a good point. Dr. Freeman's book on George Washington biography, A grade. But going back to the question, which George Washington first saw combat at what battle in the French and Indian War? Let's see here. I don't think anybody has been able to answer this one yet. And I'm talking about a specific battle. George Washington first saw combat in what battle in the French and Indian War? Kenny has surprised me as a George Washington expert. And I want to say, me and you, Mr. Kenny, are going to have to talk about George Washington at some point. So George Washington's first battle was the Battle of, let's see. Oh, Jason answered it. The Battle of Jumonville-Glen. That was his first battle. And again, I'm getting this from Mount Vernon. I double checked my resources, so take it up with Mount Vernon if you disagree. It's their fault. Let's see here. In 1759, whom did George Washington marry? In 1759, who did George Washington marry? Going to give you an easy one.
His wife.
Yes, Dr. Mitchum is back. Dr. Mitchum doesn't miss a trivia episode. And if he wasn't so hilarious, he would be winning it. I guarantee you. Bonus points if you use her maiden name. Bonus points if you can use her maiden name. Dr. Mitchum said he just got off work. Well, it's good to see you, Dr. Mitchum. I'm glad you're here tonight. Let's see here. All right. Yes, you were right. Let's see here. Who first? I love John's answer. Miss Washington.
Nice one, John.
That's forever hilarious. And Kenny was the first to answer it. Shocker. Martha. If you ever forget George Washington's wife's name, remember Martha Washington Desserts. That's what gets me. I'll have to catch the rerun, says Dr. Mitchum. Dr. Mitchum, it has been chaos. So I am so sorry for you to have to rewatch it. It went off the wall quickly. All right. I think I'm going to have to. I think this last one's going to be a good one. Because there's technically an answer for it. And I want to see if anybody does it. How many children did George Washington have? And I'm going to throw in a curveball to you. So everybody's already said George Washington didn't have any biological kids. How many kids was he the stepfather of? That wasn't the original question, but I wanted to see if anybody would have said that. I want to see how many people will get the question right of how many kids was George Washington the stepfather of. And we have a troll. Goodbye, sir. So I believe the answer is, was it 2 stepchildren? Maybe 4. I know someone answered 4. Now you say okay, in your defense, originally it was how many kids was he the father of? And then I changed it to stepfather because everybody was getting, because I said it earlier in the show that he didn't father any children. So everybody kind of knew it. So I decided to change the answer. So, yes, he was the father of James. You killing me. We're having a lot of conflicting reports. Let me do a quick Google search because I thought it was 4 or 2. But we have a lot of people that are saying different answers. So, George Washington had 7, golly, stepkids, 4 of whom survived. And then he also had many step grandchildren. That is correct. One more bonus points round. How is George Washington related to Robert E. Lee? How is George Washington related to Robert E. Lee? How was George Washington related to Robert E. Lee? I meant via marriage. That's technically related. Yes, through his wife. Robert E. Lee's wife, Mary, her grandfather was John Curtis, who was Robert E. Lee's stepchild. So those are the Robert E. Lee questions. So now we're going to get into some of y'all questions that you put in the chat. First, we have the Florida man, Sean. He has a trivia question.
Actually, I have 2.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Alrighty. What famous thing happened on February the 17th, 1864?
Repeat it.
Today in history, what was the famous thing that affected our ancestors on February 17th, 1864?
On this date?
Yeah, on February 17th, 1864. And the principle is still used today. Oh.
The Hunley? I know that 160th was, I thought it was yesterday.
Yeah, February 17th.
You said today.
No, I was reading the article that I found. Hey, Carl, you gotta say Calvin's name 3 times and he appears.
I know. I thought it was the Hunley because I was talking about the Hunley with someone yesterday at the Battle of Texas Hospital. They had a replica Hunley there, and I could have swore he told me it was the 160th this weekend. So I was like, the Hunley? I said that with a question mark though.
But Yeah, that's number one question. And number two, what happened in North Florida, close to the Georgia line, on February 20th, 1864?
1864.
February the 20th, which is tomorrow. And it's in Florida, but it's close to the Georgia line.
Yes, correct, Horace. Let's see here.
Ding,
That
ding, ding. Chuck it. You got it right.
wow. Look at
Keith, you were just at that reenactment, too.
good job. Bless his heart. We're bullying poor Keith. All right. Do you have any more?
Nope.
Okay, let's go to the audience. Keith, it looks like Mr. Sean stole yours.
Oh, did I?
Plain up stole it. You just asked it a different way. All right.
Ooh.
David asks, what was the only elected office Juba Early ever held? What was the only elective office that Juba Early ever held? And David says, for bonus points, can you tell us when he won this? Ooh, ooh, ooh! It's about to get interesting in the comments.
Yep.
I'm not even going to say that. Past Commander Chief Chuck McMichael, the Lone Ranger, riding off into the sunset again. Golly, it's all in good fun. Dave says governor. Dr. Mitchum says Commonwealth attorney. Mr. Terry says Virginia delegate. Jason says Leonard Skinner was born. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow. I actually have a question similar to that, James, that I have somewhere on this phone. Let's see here.
Thanks, Commander.
That's the comment of the night. Bigfoot saw Chuck Norris and ran into hiding. Wow. Okay, then. All right, David. I don't think anybody got it. So, could you tell us what was the only elected office Juba Early ever held, and when was it? I think we have a couple of answers. I don't know if anybody got it right, though. So, go ahead and comment the answer, David. But came out as Carl Jones. Poor Carl. He got bullied tonight. And Calvin wasn't even here.
Nope. Not yet. Yeah, Calvin's under the weather.
Oh, bless his heart. So go ahead, David, with the answer. All right. David says Juba Early
Oh,
Hello there.
there you
David said General Early represented his district in the Virginia legislature from the 1841 to 1842 season. He lost the reelection and was appointed Commonwealth attorney and held that office till the 1852 Constitution went into effect. So I do think we have Let's see here. I know someone said he was elected. Yeah, Terry got that when he said Virginia delegate. He did win that. And then Dr. Mitchum, he was appointed to it, but he was the Commonwealth Attorney of Virginia. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, David. Carl's a big guy. He can take it. Carl's a big guy, which is why I'm not going to make any more jokes about him. I have to see him soon. I'm signing up for his class, and I don't want Carl to hurt me. Carl could hurt me. And we're going to end off with a lovely Confederate trivia question. This is going to be the last trivia question of the night. Chuck, just wait to give the answer. We're going to see who all can answer it first. Who was the last Confederate general to surrender his command? Who?
Oh,
Last Confederate general to surrender his command. And we'll answer that in a couple minutes. I'm just going to give y'all a chance to talk about it. I love how I feel like Dr. Mitchum sat there like this, looking at the screen and just typed it in one-handed. I just feel like that's a very Dr. Mitchum thing to do. Like he just automatically knew the answer. I'm just messing with you, Dr. Mitchum. I love the fact that you just shot out the last name because I feel like you just got so excited and put it in there first. Let's see here. It actually looks like from my end, Dr. Mitchum has been beaten at least once here. As it says on my screen, Jason won it. So I want to thank everybody for playing tonight. Carl has a trivia question that I think will really wise us up here. Carl's trivia question is the predator to Bigfoot was Big Mouth, who in the chat tonight from Louisiana were his descendants.
lol.
Dr. Mitchum says that's what I get for taking a job. Don't worry, Dr. Mitchum. You'll always be the permanent champion here. Dr. Mitchum legit just lets people win. There was a whole night that Dr. Mitchum answered with the same Confederate officer, and we made him do a whole episode on it, and he still knocked it out of the park. It was phenomenal. Dr. Mitchum is one of a kind, everybody. If you haven't seen our episodes or read any of his books, he's a phenomenal historian. Please go support Dr. Mitchum. We're not as loud as ... I love our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron's answer. Chuck is being mean to poor Dr. Mitchum. Now I'm just starting trouble in my own chat and watching the chaos. Carl's question. The predator to Bigfoot was Big Mouth. Who in the chat tonight from Louisiana were his descendants? Carl, you can go ahead with the answer whenever you please. I'm just watching this chat catch on fire. So many people are going to watch tonight's episode and be like, what was this? And to be honest, I don't have an answer for you. Some nights we just like to have a good, fun episode. And the reason we took kind of 2 in a row is because some of our episodes next month, we're going to have some big ones. Not just like huge, but some that I think are really important. Like I got to talk to one of our guests to see if he can come on. If he can come on, we have a great one planned. We're going to talk about social media again. We're about to have Adam on. So we decided to take 2 relaxed episodes in a row, but hopefully we'll have some great episodes for you soon. It was a good time episode. I agree. Miss Julie said that our book club is reading Bust Hell Wide Open right now. It is a phenomenal read. I enjoy reading it. I go back to read it from time to time again. Uh, it is a great book. And the answer to Carl's question is yes. So the answer, let me repeat that just in case you didn't catch it. The predator to Bigfoot was Big Mouth. Who in the chat tonight from Louisiana were his descendants? And Carl said the answer is yes.
Okay.
Well, we had a great episode tonight. It was a fun, laid back episode. Just trying to put a smile on all our Southern faces, have a good time. We're in a very serious war for our heritage. Our heritage is a very serious thing, but it's still good to come together as the sons and daughters of the South and laugh. We're not as miserable as the Yankees up north. They can have their misery. I will take good old Southern fun any day of the week. And of course, we had an hour to fill, so why not make you laugh? I hope I made you smile tonight. Me and the Florida man, that was our goal. Hopefully, you smiled, you laughed a bit, you enjoyed yourself. And we will see you next week for our next episode of SCV Chat. And it will be our Hearth and Home episode. So that means Executive Director Adam Southern will be on to tell you what is going on at your national headquarters. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to share this episode out. Make sure I see you Thursday on Look Around the Confederation. I have no idea what we have planned. I'm still trying to knock down guests. If you are running for AOT commander or councilman, please reach out to me with available dates. Thursdays, 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. I know a couple of y'all emailed me. You don't have to email me again. I've seen your email. I just haven't responded yet. I'm going to be responding to everybody tomorrow. But if you haven't reached out to me and you want to go ahead and schedule it, you're more than welcomed. All right. I'm glad, Dr. Mitchum, that you did. I hope everybody did, again, have a fun night tonight. As I said, some episodes can be very serious, educational, talking about this Cold War for our heritage we're in. And it is a very serious thing, but sometimes you need to sit back and laugh, because even our ancestors have sat back and had a good time with their brothers in arms during the war. And shouldn't we model ourselves after those great men? I think the answer is yes. Our executive director, Adam Southern, says he's looking forward to being on next Monday. We are looking forward to having you on, sir. Again, one more time before we go off the air tonight. Next Monday is our Hearth and Home episode. We will have executive director Adam Southern on to talk about your headquarters. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you share this episode out. Make sure I see you Thursday for a look around the Confederation, Confederate Standard Time. And make sure the Florida man, Sean McFall, sees you tomorrow for a look around Florida. That's phenomenal. Make sure. Oh,
I figured I'd get somebody to laugh tonight.
That got me good. Oh gosh, make sure.
That's the power of having a green screen.
That is great. Make sure the Florida man, Sean McFall, sees you tomorrow on Look Around Florida for an update going on with Florida. 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time as well. So someone's calling me. I could hear my phone buzzing over there.
But it's not me. It might be Carl.
Could be Carl. Carl could be behind me at this moment to hurt me.
Or it's Thomas Franklin.
It's Tom. I thought that was Thomas.
That's possible.
He's aged a lot then. I will love it when Thomas goes white, because he will actually look like Santa Claus, and it will be hilarious. Thomas has a long black beard and long black hair. I don't think he has any gray in his head yet, but I haven't seen him since last year's reunion. So I hope to see him at National, but we're getting off topic and we're going to start talking again. So thank you all for watching. Again, make sure to share this episode out, and I'll see y'all Thursday. And remember, everybody, no fumar in the elevator. Good night, everybody.
Later.